of Fame. Hate to see that, man. Part of my childhood right there, watching Don Hine do the sports, passing away at the age of 85. And then actor Michael Madsen, to me, probably best known from Reservoir Dogs, others with the Kill Bill Volume 2 movie. I always liked Reservoir Dogs better than Kill Bill, but he'd been in a bunch of stuff. Michael Madsen dying of cardiac arrest at the age of 67.
I mean, I've heard bad things, so rest in peace, I guess.
I mean, you're the guy that would have the information because you have lived in New York. You've lived in Los Angeles. You've had to deal with these people doing, Letterman shows and everything else. Like, what'd you hear about Madsen?
I think Madsen was one of those guys. I think he lived a hard life. You could tell probably from his movies.
He was only 67.
67, yeah, kind of an odd one. I was more of a Kill Bill than Reservoir Dogs. Love Reservoir Dogs, but I really liked him in Kill Bill, and he did some great independent films too. So he was talented. I just heard from what I know.
Not a good people person?
Yeah, maybe not a great people person.
Okay. If you're looking for a reason to drink tonight, I think this is the most obvious one. It was on this date, back in 1776. John Adams wrote a letter to his wife, Abigail Adams, saying, listen, this is a great day for America. The Continental Congress, we did it. People are going to remember the date July 2nd, 1776 forever. John Adams thought that would be the date that everybody would remember when they came up with the agreement for the Declaration of Independence, not the day that it was actually formally approved by Continental Congress, which is July 4th. So Adams was all in on January 2nd, wrote a very heartfelt letter to his wife saying, get the fireworks ready, put the beer on ice, all the Continental Congress is coming over tonight. And lo and behold, it turned out we chose July 4th.
Yeah, he's 2 days early. You hope that he didn't buy merch, Right. Like that would have been rough. He's like, we got 100,000 tanks, July 2nd, it's going to be great. And then they're like, we're moving it. Sorry, John.
If John Adams were around today in this political climate, this is what an attack ad against him would sound like.
John Adams is a blind, bald, crippled, toothless man who wants to start a war with France. While he's not busy importing mistresses from Europe, he's trying to marry one of his sons to a daughter of King George. Haven't we had enough monarchy in America?
I'm Thomas Jefferson. I approve this message because John Adams is a hideous, hermaphroditical character with neither the force and firmness of a man nor the gentleness and sensibility of a woman.
Allison, I think we broke the YouTube chat. I think it stopped. Yeah, it looks like it's ended here. Too many Patriots were coming there giving the thumbs up at once. So see if we can correct that, maybe get that going again. But kudos to you guys. You guys showed up in bunches, and I think you broke the YouTube.
Yeah, as far as the attack ad, though, on John Adams, I think if Thomas Jefferson would have made that attack ad, I think John Adams wouldn't have been able to come back at him with some artillery.
The Me Too movement would have started a little earlier.
Possibly.
Another reason to drink tonight, Tom Cruise is 63 years old.
Yeah, it's incredible. 63. I don't know if I thought he was older or younger, but the debate is always Tom Cruise. Is he the biggest movie star of all time? All things considered. If you're just going top to bottom, his movies, I don't know how much, they've made, but my goodness, that guy, since what? What was the first thing you remember him in? The Outsiders?
Outsiders, probably.
Okay, and then he never stopped. He's a guy who never stopped. He's got Mission 8 right now is coming out, but I think he gets bagged on a little bit. He went a little crazy. Scientology was a big strike against him. Him jumping on the couch with Oprah. I'm
in love with Katie Holmes.
Yeah, I think we all were in love with Katie Holmes at the time, but I don't know. There's something about him now. I just saw a clip today. He was on the Graham Norton show in London, and he was on with Seth MacFarlane. It was Tom Cruise and Seth MacFarlane. And Tom Cruise could not get enough of Seth MacFarlane doing Family Guy voices. He genuinely was so thrilled with it. Seth MacFarlane did Peter Griffin doing the Liam Neeson part in Taken, and Tom Cruise. It was like, it was like Christmas morning for him. He couldn't believe it. So I don't know if he's a weird dude, but man, as far as my lifetime, I can't think of anyone who's been on a heater like that.
if I'm ranking the greatest actors of all time, I think I'm coming in at 1 with Jack Nicholson, though he's been out for a while because he's old. But Jack at 1. But Tom Cruise is in the conversation. He's still the box office draw. If he puts out another Top Gun movie, it's going to break the box office again.
Oh, without a doubt. And we were talking the other day. I was talking to Molly. I told her she was mad at me about something, and I said, "You complete me." And she didn't get the reference.
Oh.
And I go, "Jerry Maguire." And she goes, "I've never seen it." Like, you've never seen one of Tom Cruise's possible top 20 best movies? There's movies people forgot about, that
Right.
he was in.
All right. I believe we got a new YouTube stream up. Is that right, Allison? What did we do here?
I literally just reopened the tab, so I guess so.
Okay. She's not the best in the business for nothing, folks. Based off of that kind of confident answer, I think we need another great moment in presidential speeches. Great moments in presidential speeches.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
True international effort to pressure.
Great moments in presidential speeches. The Hammer and Nigel Show.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and stop smoking now without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back.
Totally changed my life.
It's amazing. I don't have any cravings. You want to quit, but have found it impossible? This is the thing for you. I have absolutely no craving. It's the darndest thing I have ever seen in my life.
It's not for entertainment. It's for results.
Do it. It works. Period.
You've tried everything else. You need to come and try this.
Early bird special, only $49.99 guaranteed. No irritability, no cravings, because don't just cut down, but stop smoking once and for all. In addition, use hypnosis to lose all the weight and destroy unwanted cravings. Seminars Thursday, July 31st at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m., stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Or Saturday, August 2nd at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m., stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
Hey, it's Matt Baer for Concrete Exteriors. Don't wait to beautify your home for summer for a fresh new look and increased home value. New siding by Concrete Exteriors is the answer. From James Hardy fiber cement siding to a big array of vinyl siding colors and styles, the experienced pros at Concrete have all the choices, plus a lifetime workmanship warranty and over 10,000 satisfied customers. For your free estimate, call Concrete Exteriors at 317-ROOFING or visit concreteexteriors.com. Tell them I sent you.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
Trump country is booming. We're building, hiring, and winning in Indiana because energy tax credits put America first, bringing manufacturing jobs home and creating a stronger middle class.
Jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country. More production at home will mean stronger competition and lower prices for consumers.
And America's comeback depends on American energy. Senator Young, keep what works. Don't repeal energy tax credits. Paid for by Built for America.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
A diagnosis of Alzheimer's can make it a struggle to communicate with loved ones. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. In a moment, I've got a tip which often helps that will be music to your ears. Don't go away.
Cardon & Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us to find a community near you.
A growing number of studies show the power of music's role in those living with Alzheimer's. The next time a loved one seems to be tuned out, gently place headphones on them or simply turn on one of their favorite songs. Watch their eyes light up, and don't be surprised if they sing along or start chatting about the tune. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joyce House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access the library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov or text Hammer and Nigel to 46220 today.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or drexelin.com.
You support them. Who supports you? Matt Baer and Ryan Hedrick provide insight, encouragement, and resources to help you navigate a loved one's recovery on the Supporting Sobriety podcast. Listen and get support wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, Matt Baer, what's up?
Stall cleared westbound 70 in the north split. We are still slow back to Royal Street, and as we exit southbound 6570, we are stop-and-go traffic. North split to the south split for an 8-minute delay. Southbound 65, another stall cleared. This one before the north split. Still slow back to 29th Street. Eastbound 70 tied into the south split from Harding Street. Northbound 65 on the south side, slow Southport Road to 465 because of construction. East side, southbound 465, stop-and-go traffic from 70 to 74. Crash on the west side, 30th at Clifton Street. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
It's 88 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Well, we're coming to your city. You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Mark your calendars now, baby. July 17th at the Johnson County Fair, the Farm Bureau Building, the Hammer and Nigel Show, broadcasting live. Johnson County, we are coming to your city, and I told you this the other day. I'm trying to get approval from management to have producer Allison come out and host a Best Johnson contest.
Ooh.
Johnson County Fair, the Johnson County Fair with producer Allison hosting the Best Johnson contest.
We're all very excited.
Not sure that's going to get approved or not, but I'm asking for it. It's an early ask. But man, come on by, hang out with us. There's a rodeo later that night. We're trying to get folks lined up for a milkshake chugging contest. What could possibly go wrong with that?
I think of how's Nigel going to be at the end of that day? He's at the Johnson County Fair. There's milkshake chugging. There's a rodeo. I would go just to see how he ends up.
So he'll start off by trying to act like Thurston Howell because he lives in Zionsville now.
Right.
But about 15 minutes into the show, the Liston hillbilly will pop out of him, and he'll be in jorts ripping off his shirt, and he'll be out there competing in the rodeo.
And doing a lot of Johnson County. Get it? Johnson.
Johnson! So mark your calendars, July 17th. Jeff, come out with us. Bring Miss Molly out. Hang out. Hopefully they got critters with big balls out there. You guys can look at them and have a good time.
Sold.
As we get ready to celebrate the 249th birthday of the greatest country in the world, despite what some socialist Democrats will try to tell you, we've been doing a couple different things all throughout the afternoon. We've heard from some of the greatest leaders in this nation, and we've also been doing a little tribute on how we celebrate. It's called Great Moments in Fireworks History, and this is what it sounds like when a firecracker explodes in a guy's anus. So I want you to listen. This was a bottle rocket, I believe, a bottle rocket. It's in this gentleman's butt. It's lit by another friend, and it doesn't take off. It makes the whistling sound. And Allison, play this again. Once it pops, I want you to hear the reaction of all the guy's friends.
And that's how they got the gerbil out of Richard Gere.
Okay, stop it. That's too far. Comedian Nick Swartzen on some of the signs you may see at the airport.
They have a big sign when you go through security of things that you can't bring on the plane. On the sign, they had no fireworks. Like, who brings fireworks? Do you do that? Are there people out there who like, honey, we have that flight in an hour. Oh, really? I'm going to grab some Roman candles. Yeah, it's a long flight. Let's spice it up a little bit. I just thought it'd be funny to be on a plane and just see some guy do that. Like, I'm going to light one of these bad boys up.
Love it. All right, do not go anywhere. Top stories next.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
History returns with the Brickyard 400 at the famed 2.5-mile oval, celebrating NASCAR's roots at the racing capital of the world. Brickyard weekend starts Thursday, July 24th with the Indiana Sprint Week race, with sprint cars running on the IMS dirt track for the first time ever. Saturday, July 26th, get ready for action with the NASCAR Xfinity Series Pennzoil 250. Then Sunday, July 27th, the NASCAR Cup Series Brickyard 400, presented by PPG, returns to the oval of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Buy now and save at IMS.com.
Are you ready to build your custom dream home? Joyner Homes is ready to make your dream come true. Over 18 years, Joyner Homes, based out of Greenfield, have built hundreds of homes in central Indiana, and the best place to start is joynerhomes.com. That's where you'll find pricing, photos of completed Joyner homes to inspire you, available home sites, and info on where you can visit their model homes, and a lot more. Be sure to check out Joyner Homes' 5-star Google reviews. Get started today at joynerhomes.com.
Guys, Hammer and Nigel here. Don't live with tiredness and low energy. Get your life back with testosterone therapy at Low T Center. Take the test, get fast results, and start TRT with Indianapolis' leading experts in men's health.
Now it's easier than ever with the new Synergen X Health app, an innovation in healthcare technology you won't find anywhere else. Download right now or book an appointment while the test is still free at fixmylowt.com. Fixmylowt.com.
Trump country is booming. We're building, hiring, and winning in Indiana because energy tax credits put America first, bringing manufacturing jobs home and creating a stronger middle class.
Jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country. More production at home will mean stronger competition and lower prices for consumers.
And America's comeback depends on American energy. Senator Young, keep what works. Don't repeal energy tax credits. Paid for by Built for America.
Hey folks, Scott Wilson here from Wilson Farm Market, just 20 minutes north of Carmel. We're proud to bring you the freshest produce farmed right here in Indiana and across the Midwest. And don't miss our home-style fried chicken, scratch-made bakery, and a deli packed with ready-to-go favorites. Got a sweet tooth? Check out a variety of old-fashioned candies, the kind that brings back sweet memories from your childhood. At Wilson Farm Market, we're all about local freshness, friendly faces, and food that feels like home. Wilson Farm Market. That's Wilson Farm Market.
Coming up in 2 minutes, that is coming up right after Fox News from the Technology Recycler Studios. What to expect for the weather now that 2025 is halfway done. What a woman is facing for her ridiculous actions. For a father, it is a similar situation for his actions as well. You'll find out what's going on with all of this here soon. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
This is a Fox News alert. The president gets his bill. I'm Lisa Brady. Republicans celebrating after the House gave final approval to the sweeping tax cut and spending plan they call the Big Beautiful Bill.
Wages will rise, I think.
household income will go up. I think the job participation rate will increase dramatically. I think unemployment will be low. We're going to duplicate what we did in the first Trump administration.
House Speaker Mike Johnson able to usher the package through a narrow majority after long meetings with Republican holdouts, including meetings with President Trump. Fox Business's Grady Trimble on Capitol Hill.
First and foremost, the big, beautiful bill staves off what Republicans have warned would be the biggest tax hike in American history by preserving the tax cuts that President Trump ushered in during his first term. And then on top of that, there are two new provisions that were key to President Trump's campaign promises that he made on the campaign trail. Those, of course, are no taxes on tips and no taxes on overtime. This bill makes taxes on tips deductible up to $25,000 and on overtime deductible up to $12,500 for individuals and twice that for couples.
Democrats say that's not good enough and that Medicaid changes will strip away health care and food assistance. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries calling the bill immoral as he spoke against it for nearly 9 hours, setting a new House record.
Press on for democracy. We're going to press on until victory is won. I yield back.
Former President Biden posting that the bill is reckless and cruel. President Trump says it will launch an economic boom. He plans a signing ceremony tomorrow. One Republican House member is set to leave Congress. Tennessee Congressman Mark Green, who had previously said he would step down, has just made it official. Now that big, beautiful bill is done, his last day will be July 20th. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
What you will face across the state. Still partly cloudy and 88 degrees here on Monument Circle. Low tonight is still 69. I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending at 5:02. It's July now, so of course it's hot in Indiana. Cody Moore is a meteorologist with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis. Here's what he says lies ahead.
Starting tomorrow, highs are going to be above that 90-degree mark once again. However, we aren't expecting things to be as oppressive as they were with the previous week's heat wave.
He says dew points are lower, which means it will feel less humid and less muggy than it was in the last couple of weeks of June. A woman was arrested for hitting her husband with a baseball bat in Muncie. When police arrived on West Memorial Drive, Heather Monroe says her husband hit her when really she was the one who hit her husband, as officers spotted injuries on him and not Monroe. She is facing charges of domestic battery, and a child saw what happened too. A Lafayette father is facing over 90 years in jail for killing his son. Elisard Moneas pleaded guilty to killing his son Jacob by putting him in a bucket with liquid laundry detergent, which was by a trash can in a kitchen inside a home. Officers found baby Jacob dead inside the bucket in mid-August. Moneas also pleaded guilty to trying to kill his wife the day before he killed Jacob. Police say the wife was rushed to the hospital because Moneas beat her with a tire iron. A Clark County man with a temper on the roads was up to no good. Johnette Cruz on what happened.
A road rage incident that happened Wednesday led to a felony arrest for operating while intoxicated, along with other charges.
I-65 southbound near the Henryville exit. Somebody had observed a Dodge Dakota brake check. Another vehicle, a semi-truck, got in front of the vehicle, slammed on his brakes, caused the semi-truck to hit the pickup truck, then fled.
Sergeant Kerry Holes with Indiana State Police with the details. The driver, Nathaniel Richard Long of Lima, Ohio, initially fled the scene but eventually stopped after entering a drive-through lane of an Arby's. Long was booked into the Clark County Jail. Johnette Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And a celebration of Indiana's canal heritage is something you can look forward to on Saturday from 10 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon in Delphi. There will be a lot of experiences outdoors, says Canal Parks Executive Director Mike Tetraltz.
We bring to life 1800s Indiana. We have a replica 54-foot canal boat, as well as the only navigable section of the longest canal in U.S. history in Indiana.
He says if you want to ride the boats at the canal, you will have to purchase a ticket. You can check out the Wabash and Erie Canal Parks websites. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
Everybody knows Hubler's got the best warranty around. 10 years, 200,000 miles. But did you know? Now you can get that same limited powertrain warranty on new Toyotas. Introducing the all-new Hubler Toyota. Get grand opening savings all month long. And right now, lease a new RAV4, just $349 per month. Or a new Tacoma, $299 per month. Plus, choose from Camrys, Corollas, Highlanders, Tundras, and more.
Hubler's got you covered.
At the all-new Hubler Toyota on US 31 South in Indianapolis. Visit HublerToyota.com. Grand opening savings and the best warranty around. 10 years, 200,000 miles.
Cover me!
Select models, approved credit, plus tax tag title license 199 dealer doc. RAV4 model 4432, Tacoma model 7540, 36 months, $29.99 due, 0 security, 10,000 annual miles, 15 cents per mile thereafter. Expires 7/7.
You've got WIBC traffic. It's 5:05. How's it going, Matt Bear?
All right, Jake. Looking at southbound 65-70. Stop traffic from the north split down to the south split. That's a 2-minute delay at the moment. And also westbound 70 is slowing down at Rural into the north split because of an earlier stall. It's gone. Inbound 65, stop and go 21st to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 looking good into downtown from Harding Street. Right now wide open, no delays. East side southbound 465, stop and go traffic from 70 down to 74. Crash on the west side, Clifton Street at West 30th Street. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Be hot and a little bit of a humid 4th of July on Friday under mostly to partly sunny skies and a light breeze out of the south. High temperatures overall will rise into the low 90s by the afternoon hours. For the downtown fireworks in Indianapolis, temperatures will fall to around the low 80s by 10:15 p.m. tomorrow night. The heat and humidity lingers on into Saturday with highs in the low 90s once again. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna from 93 WIBC.
I'm Jake McDaniel on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's rock it!
It has passed through the House. The big, beautiful bill making its way to the president's desk now. Some people like it, some people don't. Rob Kendall falls into the category of people who don't, and he'll join us coming up here in about 25 minutes. Jeff Boggs is in for Nigel. Trump is in Iowa getting ready to do a speech. This is the first time we'll have a chance to hear from the president since the big, beautiful bill, as it has been dubbed as, has finally made its way through both chambers.
I liked the other day, Trump was announcing that he was going to Iowa, and it's just free-flowing thought when he's like, a place I love very much, very much. And you're like, Iowa? Okay.
If you watch enough Trump speeches, you could always tell the point where he stops reading the prompter, hits the switch, and starts freestyling. And I can only imagine as a speechwriter, the fear that goes on in your mind. Oh no, he's going off script again. Because I'm sure the script will be like, we passed the legislation. It's great. It's good to be here in Iowa. Speaking of Iowa, let me tell you something.
Oh! and also when he gets into, people are saying it'll save $100 billion, $200 billion. $300 billion. You don't know when he's going to stop.
He just doesn't work in the crowd,
It's
right?
wonderful.
So it has passed through despite the best efforts of the Democrats, some Republicans, but Hakeem Jeffries went on a filibuster, spoke for like 8 or 9 hours today before turning it back, and then the vote happened right afterwards. So we're not really sure what the point was other than to say, look how passionate I am. And if we win the midterms, there's no other choice for me to be the Speaker of the House.
This is a huge win for Trump. I mean, this is kind of what the last 2 years, of his life revolved around, was getting into a spot where he can get this passed, and now he can run with it. So I'm rooting for it. I'm excited. Is it going to be perfect? Probably not.
No.
There's probably going to be some bumps in the road. But man, I got a feeling that our economy is about to start doing some stuff, and it's exciting.
Well, there was a good jobs report today. There was some good and some bad with the jobs report today, right? The good news is real wages are up higher than what inflation is at. The jobs created was well above jobs that were expected. Now, the oldest trick in the book, and both parties do this, is that you put the revisions in next month and hope that the media doesn't talk about it.
Well, they did that with Biden. It was like 18 of the final 20 months were revised down. You have to keep in mind, though, that things are changing. So, a lot of people are being removed from the country who, it turns out, were here illegally. So a lot of those jobs are going.
And this bill is going to speed that process up.
Speed the process. But also, in terms of jobs, so many government jobs have been cut just, in the last 6 months because of Trump winning that it seems like we're being able to handle that. I was very worried about those 3 months. Maybe it's like, guys, don't worry, it'll get better. But we seem to be handling it just great. And the stock market, again, those are the pros. Those are the people who know how it's really going. It keeps going up.
So the pros of the big, beautiful bill are that most people will get a tax cut. It's a ton of funding for border security. It's a ton of funding for ICE to kick out all the people that Joe Biden just let walk across the country. And when you say that, some people get their panties in a little bit of a twist. But you got to remember, there's a lot of people who are trying to get in this country the right way, legally. It's so unfair to those people about what happened in those 4 years of Joe Biden's presidency, or whoever was pretending to be Joe Biden.
Yeah, you always wonder. I've actually researched this because I think about it. Well, who's in line? Like, who's waiting down in Mexico City or Panama to get into the country? And you see these stories about, a single mother and her 2 kids are patiently waiting to be given the chance to come to America. And nobody ever brings them up. It's just like, how dare you kick out this guy who, 7 drunk driving charges.
Right. And listen, if you want to have a conversation about ways to make it easier for good people who have been vetted to get into this country, I'm open to that. Like, if somebody wants to come into our country legally, they pass the background check, they want to pay taxes, they want to get a job, they want to get their kids in school. Okay, there needs to be a way that process is sped up. But somebody that just walks across here, I'm sorry, you may be a good dude, but you're not getting sympathy from me, and you sure as hell aren't getting sympathy from those who are waiting in line right now. So again, Rob will join us here. He's got a counterpoint to the big, beautiful bill coming up at about 5:30.
Can you make sure to ask Rob, though? Okay, just if I'm not here, if I have to go downstairs and do something, I just feel like, what is your suggestion? If you're mad because this bill's not perfect, and I get it, it's not perfect, but if you're mad about that, what's your suggestion to make the perfect bill that's going to get passed by our 2-party system? Because otherwise, it's just bloviating.
My whole thing with Rob all along, and I'll tell him this, is I have such little faith in anybody. I expected nothing.
Right.
So if I would have got nothing, I would have got exactly what I expected. If I get a little something, holy crap, I'm surprised. Maybe it's because of the Republican, wink, wink, leadership here in Indiana, but I expected nothing. I expected to get kicked in the nuts. So if I get a little bit for border security, if I get a little bit of a tax cut, bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah, it's like when we controlled the House and the Senate, yet we still weren't able to overturn Obamacare. I didn't want to be in that situation again, where we have this great moment in time before the 4th of July and we didn't do anything. So we did something. Now let's deal with it.
Jeff Boggs filling in for Big Nige. Again, we are off tomorrow, July 4th. It will be the best of the Hammer and Nigel show, or as we like to refer to it as, the stuff that doesn't suck as much as everything else. Maybe it does. I don't know. But that'll be on tomorrow. So we're celebrating our country's birthday all afternoon here. And Jeff, you know me, I'm a sports guy. I'm a sports betting guy. I think the greatest upset that's ever taken place wasn't Joe Namath's Jets beating Johnny Unitas' Colts. It wasn't Villanova upsetting Patrick Ewing and Georgetown in March Madness. It was the hillbillies of the Continental Army led by General George Washington, defeating the mighty British Army. You want to talk about the biggest upset in the history of this country? That's what it is.
And I remember back then, ESPN, all they talked about was Britain. They were like, Britain this, Britain that. We came through.
They showed Stephen A. Smith showing up wearing a red coat.
Right. They had the half-hour special before the first battle. It's like, hey, Britain, we're going to do it. It was always fun in Hollywood because over the last 10 years, the Brits have overtaken Hollywood. And so around this time, it was always fun, to tell a British network executive, it's like, by the way, that was crazy, wasn't it? All back when your entire empire was taken down by a bunch of farmers and 9 muskets. Way to go.
Right. The world's best army, as we were told, had a hard time because our hillbillies were in trees.
Right.
Like, if it wasn't somebody right in front of the British Army, they didn't know what to do.
It's like we had the tush push.
Right.
And Britain was like, we can't stop this. So good for us.
And then we win the thing, and they tell George Washington, we're going to make you king. And George looks at everybody. No, idiots. I literally just took a group of hillbillies and beat the biggest army so we wouldn't have a king. This is the original No King's Day.
Right.
This is what No King's Day really is. July 4th, 1776, every year. That, my friends, is No King's Day. All right, I'm fired up. I love 4th of July. I love Independence Day. And here's what we're going to do. Allison, kill this music. Kill this music. Oh. Matt Bear is standing by in the WIBC Traffic Center. I know a lot of people are getting ready to go on a little 3-day, 4-day vacation. So give me some appropriate music for traffic, Allison. Oh, there we go. Inject that into my veins. Standing by with a look at that holiday road, the traffic beast, Matt Bear.
All right, Hammer, looking at eastbound 465 after Keystone Avenue is stalled, blocking the left lane. A little bit of a slowdown there. Southbound 465 on the east side, stop and go traffic from 72 Washington Street. Westbound 70 slows after Rural into the north split, then jams up down to the south split because of construction. And looking at the south side, northbound 65 slow from Southport Road up to 465 because of construction. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
If you're hitting the road, be careful. If you're lighting off a bunch of dynamite like I am in the next couple of days, be really careful. Right now, sunshine and 88 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Are you okay with this? That's coming up next.
One of the biggest differences about Indy Decorative Concrete, other than the fact that they do fantastic custom concrete patio work, the best in Indy, the other difference is they actually have W-2 employees, real concrete finishers that work for them, no subcontractors. I think that says something a lot about a local concrete company. Many of the same guys for years. Mario Sr.'s been there since 2009. Indy Decorative Concrete did such a fantastic job replacing my old porch and sidewalk. It gave a whole brand new look and feel to my front yard and my house. They took a basic sidewalk and porch and turned it into this custom stamped concrete area with more space and an awesome, unique look. My wife and I can't believe how amazing our new front porch and sidewalk looks. IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. Whether it's a new patio, sidewalk, porch, whatever, don't do anything until you've checked out my friends at IndyDecorativeConcrete.com.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-777-1225. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-777-1225. That's 800-777-1225. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-777-1225. 800-777-1225.
Summertime's here, so get a hot summertime deal at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators. Up to $8,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Come and see why the Roush family has served the community for over 53 years at Tom Roush Lincoln.
Navigator MSRP 105-195. Nautilus MSRP 60-195. 2025 Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Serving in the military requires great sacrifices, not just for one's country, but also for one's family. Not surprisingly, divorce for soldiers is especially difficult, and it raises a number of challenges that are peculiar to military divorce, things such as deployments, relocation, retirement benefits. These issues can be complicated. So if you're a soldier facing such challenges, go to CordellCordell.com.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
From marshmallow festivals to fireworks on the shore. No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. During Hubler's Freedom to Drive, shop any of our 13 locations and choose from Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and more. Over 2,000 vehicles. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report.
'Cause Hubler's got you covered.
No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles during our Freedom to Drive. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Okay, with Big Nige being out, this is normally the part of the show that he hosts, and he asks me the questions. Well, since he's on his deathbed or he's got herpes or whatever he's got.
Wait, you said he was dead.
R.I.P.
He may have recovered. Allison is going to host this segment, and she'll run some stories by Jeff Boggs and I.
All right, tomorrow is the Nathan's hot dog eating contest, and friend of the show, Joey Chestnut, is back.
Joey Jaws.
Finally, after missing last year due to that annoying sponsor dispute. So, obviously, are you guys okay with this?
I love this. Friend of the show, Joey Chestnut, an American badass, right? How many people do you know who are the best in the world at what they do, right? For years, we've said, oh, Michael Jordan's the best basketball player in the world. Right now, I don't know if we have a definitive answer on that. But we know who the best competitive eater is, and it's not even close. Like, if you wanted to bet on this, Jeff, it's like the money isn't even worth it. You'd have to bet like $1,000 to maybe win a penny. It's like if Alabama's football team played against the Beech Grove High School JV. That's the odds of Joey against the field here. So the real action, and we talk about this on the Degenerates Next Door podcast, which is now out, over or under 70.5 hot dogs eaten in 10 minutes by Joey Chestnut. Now, I've seen the number different in other places, 71.5, but on FanDuel, it was 70.5. I'm riding the lightning. I'm going over. There's no way I'm betting against Joey Chestnut on his comeback, on his revenge tour on the 4th of July. If I bet the under, I might as well join Hamas.
That's strong. I agree. I think that the whole sponsorship thing killed it last year. It felt like it didn't even happen. It was like the show Dallas. Remember when Bobby Ewing, all of a sudden he was in the shower and, the last 2 years didn't happen. Let's just act like last year didn't happen because it was a debacle. I'm taking the over because he's back and he wants to show the world what he's made of.
And he's a Hoosier now. He's one of us now.
He lives in Westfield, right?
Yeah, moved to Indy, got away from the oppressive taxes of California, lives here, comes to our show all the time, and he's a good dude.
Awesome.
Love it.
The Purdue Research Foundation is joining efforts to locate Amelia Earhart's lost plane. The expedition is taking place in November of this year. Are you okay with this?
No, I'm not.
Really?
And look, how much money are we spending to find a plane of Amelia Earhart? Like, isn't that money that could be better spent on other areas of research, other ways to make life better at Purdue, or maybe help grow this Indianapolis campus? Because look, Purdue has said we are going to have an Indianapolis campus because IUPUI broke up. There's no more IUPUI. There's IU Indianapolis, and there's Purdue Indianapolis. We took a college tour to Purdue Indy recently with my youngest. He is looking to study agriculture. You would think that Purdue, the agricultural school, like in Indiana, would have something in the Indianapolis campus. Nothing. Nada. So maybe, just maybe, take some of the money that you're going to use to try to find Amelia Earhart's plane and grow your university and some of the satellite campuses. What happens if you do find it? We found the plane. She's still dead, but we found the plane. I don't understand the gain.
Well, I'm infatuated by this story. I actually watched a press conference yesterday of them announcing all this. They have a satellite imagery. It's obviously the plane. You can see the plane. I don't understand why this is costing so much money. I don't understand why they're going to stage 1, go check if it's the plane, and then stage 2 next year, go try to get the plane up. I watched the press conference. It's obviously her plane. It's exactly where she was flying. Also, on the island, they found female human bones that match her size. They found feminine products like compacts and things. It's her plane. I don't think we have to spend any money on it. I was yelling at the TV by myself. My dog was right next to me going, "It's the plane. Don't waste millions of dollars trying to figure it out." Sorry.
An angry woman I'm just going to move right past it. At a Florida restaurant, threw a burrito at a guy, but missed and to hit someone else in the face. And she just stormed off. After the burrito incident, she just left the restaurant, and she lives just down the street. So the cops actually were able to catch up with her. And get this, they described her as non-cooperative, and she was arrested. Are you okay with this?
No, I'm not okay with this. Not because of the act, but because she's unoriginal. Ron Burgundy did this a long time ago. This burrito is good, but it's filling. And he chucks it out the window, and he hits Jack Black on a motorcycle. Next thing you know, poor Baxter's getting punted into the bay. This is a complete ripoff of everything I've seen from the movie Anchorman. This isn't an original idea. She stole it, Jeff. She's a thief.
Yeah, she threw a burrito and missed. This is actually reminiscent. Last Halloween, there was a kid trick-or-treating dressed in an Anthony Richardson jersey, and he tried to egg my house, but he missed.
Okay.
Because he has bad aim.
What you did there.
Did he have to take a break because he was tired?
Yes, he missed. He was doubtful the next 7 to 9 weeks.
He laid down in the yard like Long Duck Dong after he was hammered drunk and 16 candles. Before we break down and have a look at the news here, and again, we got Rob Kendall coming up in just a little bit. And listen, the kid's passionate about the big, beautiful bill. He's got some point of views that some of you like, some of you don't like. I'll talk to Rob about that coming up in just a little bit. But before we do that, let's all sit back, take a deep breath, and think about why this country is so great. Think about some of the leaders that we've had that have made this country great. And we're going to have great moments in presidential speeches. Great moments in presidential speeches.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
They don't know what the
they're doing.
Great moments in presidential
That was a great one.
speeches. Rob Kendall off the rails coming up right now. Let's break down and have a look at the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's off to his desk. Partly cloudy and 88 degrees here on Monument Circle. The low tonight near 70. I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending at 529. That's President Trump's desk where that big beautiful bill is off to. House Speaker Mike Johnson was busy all night to bring in GOP holdouts to those who were opposed to the spending package as they were worried about it because it would add too much to the national debt. The bill passed by a super close 218 to 214. The man who was accused of killing a Democratic lawmaker in Minnesota and her husband and tried to kill another lawmaker and his wife showed up in court today. Here's Fox's Jessica Rosenthal.
Vance Belter was in court for a detention and preliminary examination hearing. He waived his right to both. He appeared in a yellow Sherburne County Jail outfit rather than what was apparently a suicide prevention suit in late June. He told the judge he looks forward to the facts of what happened on the 14th coming out to the judge and the public. He did ask for a jail cell where the lights are not always on and a pencil to take notes. Belter's accused of murdering Minnesota House Speaker Emeritus Melissa Hortman and her husband and of injuring lawmaker John Hoffman and his wife inside each of their homes while posing as a police officer. He went to the houses of other lawmakers that night, but they were not home. Belter was caught in a field after a 2-day manhunt. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
It's called the Taste of Indy, which is Indy's largest food festival. It will be at White River State Park and take over the entire bridge. There will be different types of vendors, including music for even kids to enjoy. The event is Saturday from 9 in the morning to 11 at night, and tickets are on Taste of Indy's website. And if you are planning on hitting the beach this holiday weekend, a bunch of beaches across the country are dealing with really high levels of harmful bacteria. With that said, beaches are closing down or issuing advisories. And then waste can cause stomach illnesses and skin infections, which is definitely not what you want to be experiencing when you're trying to swim. And at least 6 states have already issued advisories or closures because of unsafe levels of bacteria. This includes states like Massachusetts, where almost 24 beaches are closed, plus New York, California, Illinois, and Michigan. So if you are headed to the water, it is a good idea to check for advisories first. With traffic, here's Matt Bear.
All right, Jake, southbound 6570 stop and go traffic after the north split down to the south split. East side, southbound 465 slow from 70 to Brookville Road, again from 74 to Arlington Avenue. And on the north side, eastbound 465 after Keystone, that stall is gone. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you so much, Matt. Here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Expect a warmer, mostly clear Thursday night with lows around the 70-degree mark. This leads sway to a hot and a little bit of a humid 4th of July on Friday under mostly to partly sunny skies and a light breeze out of the south. High temperatures overall will rise into the low 90s by the afternoon hours. For the downtown fireworks in Indianapolis, temperatures will fall to around the low 80s by 10:15 p.m. tomorrow night. The heat and humidity lingers on into Saturday with highs in the low 90s once again. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna from 93 WIBC.
I'm Jake McDaniel on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!"
And now, Hammer and Nigel go off the rails with Rob Kendall.
Noise pollution.
We are rolling on a very special Independence Day edition of the Hammer and Nigel Show. I'm off tomorrow. Nigel's off tomorrow. So this is our 4th of July show. And Rob Kendall is here, ready to go off the rails. Rob, how are you?
Great. Thanks, as always, to our segment sponsor, Garage Doors of Indianapolis.
Now, I want to get your thoughts on the big, beautiful bill, because I've been listening to your number one rated radio show, and I can tell how much you love it. You sing its praises. You love everybody involved. You've got no issues with it. I want to find out why in just a moment. But I'm sorry, we have to start with this.
Yeah.
You said something when we were recording our sports betting podcast earlier in the day that I can't stop thinking about. You have never purchased a firework.
No, never.
Not a sparkler, not a snake, not a little shower thing. You've never bought one firework.
No, and in fact, the only time I think I've ever had anything fireworks related, I remember my grandparents, and maybe my grandparents on 4th of July, they had some sort of sparkler thing, but I was a kid. I definitely didn't purchase it, no.
So that's maybe why you're so mean and angry all the time. You never had a great 4th of July as a kid.
Well, but see, I don't think that's true, because where I lived as a kid, which is where I live now, I could see the 4th of July fireworks that the town did from my house. I got a perfect view where they would shoot off the fireworks from Arbuckle Park. So in my mind, and my parents were never like events people, so maybe it's all Mike Kendall's fault in all of this. I don't know. But like we just watched the fireworks from our house. And so I guess there was never a need to buy it. And because if you don't grow up doing it, then as an adult, you're not really predisposed to do it. So no, I've never bought a firework.
So your old man, Mike Kendall, he worked in law enforcement for a long time. I figure if anybody would have access to the good stuff, the stuff that even I can't buy, it'd be him.
It's interesting that you think and that there's some secret stash of like illegal fireworks somewhere that all the feds have access to.
It's called dynamite, Rob. It's called dynamite. There's a difference between fireworks and dynamite. And yes, I do think dudes that have ties to law enforcement have access to some dynamite that might be locked up in an evidence room somewhere.
Yeah, it's just so weird, though. It's like I always used to watch the 4th of July fireworks. I would even go to the park sometime when they would shoot them off. But we never did fireworks of any sort when I was a kid. Ever.
That's wild. Now, when your young lady gets to be a little older, I still think she's probably a little too young to comprehend what's all going on now. Are you going to have fireworks like that she can watch and do?
Well, I kind of feel like if someone else is going to do it, why would I spend my hard-earned money on it?
Because you don't have any hard-earned money, Rob. You have no money, you have no joy, and this brings us to your thoughts on the big, beautiful bill.
Well, calling it beautiful is a stretch. I would give this a Broad Ripple 1 if I were to score it in terms of its appearance.
Okay. I need the condensed version, because you've spent all week just crapping all over this thing. The condensed version of why you are against this.
Because you had one shot, and you basically got nothing out of it. You held the American people hostage for something you could have passed in March, which was border
security. What do you mean
security.
held hostage?
Because the border security, the thing is always, well, if you don't vote for this, you want illegals to pour into the country. If you don't want this, you want taxes to go up 50%. No. The border security and the continuing of the tax cuts could have passed on their own as a standalone thing in March.
Okay, so you're saying these should have been separate bills?
Yes, but they knew the rest of the stuff, the legalized vote buying, the free health care for illegals, the Medicaid going to sex changes for little kids, all the legalized vote buying, the no tax on tip stuff, all of this stuff, it wouldn't pass on its own. So we had to, once again, it's the equivalent of using the kids as human shields, right? Like we had to hold these two things up and say, well, if you don't vote for this bill, you're against these things. And that's gross and that's very disgusting behavior.
Okay, you bring up the no tax on tips thing. You've been against that. There's probably a lot of waitresses, waiters that be like, you know what? I'm actually kind of in favor of that.
I bet it would. It's going to put a lot of money in their pocket at the expense of future generations. Daft. Deficits are future taxes. And what this bill does is it takes another $20 trillion and adds it to our nation's debt. It is... Look, I would gladly, there's things in this bill that are going to benefit me with a child tax credit or whatever. I would gladly give all of that up right now. My benefit, I would give that up if you said we're going to balance the federal budget and ensure that my kids have a shot. Because what we're doing is we're professionally dining and dashing, where we're eating at St. Elmo and we're getting the most expensive steak on the menu and then going, oh man, somebody's going to have to pay for that meal as we walk out the door. It's totally unfair. Now, the no tax on tips. Why is, and I've been a bartender, right? Look, I'm strongly considering going back now that this is going to be put in because it'll be a huge financial benefit. But why is being a bartender or being a server, why is that work better than being a teacher? Why is it better than being a guy who's out digging a ditch or working on roads?
Because they make less than the minimum wage.
No, they don't. Look, I've dated...
A lot of waitresses, you make a low level because tips are factored in with your salary.
But that's fine. It's part of the income. It should all be taxed the same. Look, I used to date a girl who was a waitress at a very high-profile downtown Indianapolis drinking establishment.
She was working as a waitress at a cocktail bar? Is this much true?
And
congratulations to the 5 people that got that.
That was very well done.
reference.
She would come home with piles of cash.
Yeah.
And like piles of cash. She was making more money than I was. Why shouldn't her money be taxed?
But that was a good night, though. What about those random Wednesday nights where it's a thunderstorm outside and she probably comes home with less money than she should?
But my point is, in the collective, she was making as much or more than most people were making. It's ridiculous to act like these are poor singing orphans. Either we value work or we don't. Some work is not better than others. Waitresses and bartenders, God bless you people, but you're not better than teachers. You're not better than firemen. You're not better than cops. You're not better than doctors.
What about the tax on overtime? No tax on overtime.
Again, work is work. If we should cut taxes for everyone. Why we're picking winners and losers? Look, we're doing this because the Republicans want to win Nevada. That's what this is all about. It's a legalized vote buying operation for Nevada. Now, let's talk about the fact that in this bill, and by the way, the Republicans are lying about this. There's a couple of honest ones who've talked about how the parlor trick works. We are continuing to fund health care for illegal immigrants. You're paying for that. We are continuing to pay for sex changes for little kids. We are paying for that. And we're adding, again, when you factor in the $5 trillion in this bill, plus the current spending levels, $20 trillion over the next 10 years, why would we celebrate any of this?
Because ultimately, we expect these guys to be buffoons and clowns. Right? Let me just say that. I live in Indiana. The Republicans, and I consider myself a Republican, they have just crapped on my chest repeatedly. So I expected nothing, Rob. If I can get something out of it, because my expectations were so damn low of elected officials, I feel like I've got something. Like, yes, the surgery thing for the trans kids. But you know what? That doesn't affect me. I'm going to have a kid that's 18. My youngest one's going to be 18 this year. That means I've got 2 adults. Not my problem
anymore. But it does.
Anymore.
You're paying for it. You're paying for it, and they're going to pay for it. They're taking your money. They're taking other people's money who don't have a voice, and they're giving it to this crap. Why would we vote for Republicans? What was the point? They're just doing the same thing they always do, which is spend, 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 spend.
The tax cuts, and I agree with you. This stuff should have been separate bills, but I should also be a millionaire. We can't always get what we want. If this is in the bill, if my options are not getting the tax cuts, not getting the border security, or this other crap here, like, I can hate some of this stuff, but I like this stuff more than I hate.
You know what? I hate being lied to. And every time the Republicans run, they promise us, oh, we're going to get the spending under control. It's out of control. We're going to get Washington back on track. And every time they get in here and they lie, this is the 3rd time in my adult life, 2002, 2016, 2024, that they have all 3 branches of government, and they're every bit as bad as the Democrats. And what amazes me is the stuff that we would lose our minds on if the Democrats did it. If it was Biden and they're doing it, or Kamala. When we do it, well, we had to get this portion of the bill, so we should just agree with all of this, and that's fine. It's not fine.
Well, it's not fine, but I think people have to temper their expectations a little bit. I expect nothing from all these buffoons. You actually have expectations.
But look, we're $37 trillion in debt by the time this bill has elapsed over 10 years. Oh, and by the way, if the no tax on tips and the overtime, if all that stuff were so great, why'd they only make it for a couple of years? Why did they make it for 10 years like everything else? Because they know what it's going to do to the debts and the deficits and what it's going to do to the country. We're not doing anything with the entitlement reforms, which are running out of money. We are so screwed, and this was the last chance to do something about it. And man, I almost said it. They crapped all over society once again.
Come back for one more segment.
Let's do it.
We're going off the rails with Rob Kendall. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Lately, the market has been making some big moves, and not all in the right direction. If you've been watching the numbers and wondering what it all means for your retirement, you're not alone. At Howard Bailey Financial, we plan for times like this. The truth is, a volatile day on Wall Street can feel a lot different when you're getting closer to retirement. That's why right now is the right time to take a fresh look at your portfolio, and Howard Bailey can help. Are you taking on more risk than you realize? Are you diversified in a way that makes sense for where you are in life? Find out today with the help of our free Market Volatility Guide. Visit retirewithpurpose.com to download your free guide and learn more about what market shifts may mean for you. That's retirewithpurpose.com. Together, let's make sure your plan is built to weather whatever comes next. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. That's 800-659-7540.
Trump country is booming. We're building, hiring, and winning in Indiana because energy tax credits put America first, bringing manufacturing jobs home and creating a stronger middle class.
Jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country. More production at home will mean stronger competition and lower prices for consumers.
And America's comeback depends on American energy. Senator Young, keep what works. Don't repeal energy tax credits. Paid for by Built for America.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been a local, family-owned and operated business for nearly 50 years and helps keep Central Indiana's economy strong by employing over 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis stands by their products and services while they share and embrace our conservative values. So when you have garage door problems, call them today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis, 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Our show, Expedition Retirement, now has a new name. Join us for Fire Your Financial Advisor, Sunday mornings at 7 on WIBC.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with national LTE coverage. Go to rapidradios.com and you'll get up to 60% off, free UPS shipping. Add code RADIO for an additional 5% off.
If you're pressed for time, the WIBC Mashup Podcast is your shortcut to the smartest, sharpest, and strangest moments on air. It's the best content from Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, and Hammer and Nigel. Updated daily. Find the WIBC Mashup wherever you get your podcasts.
Matt Bear has a look at the roads.
All right, Hammer, looking downtown, southbound 6570 after Washington Street, a medical emergency blocking the right lane, causing stop-and-go traffic back to the north split. East side, southbound 465 slow after 70 down to 74, and northbound 65 on the south side slows after Southport Road up to 465 because of construction. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
88 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC. Back with Rob Kendall, part of the #1 rated Kendall and Casey show, 9 to noon here at 93 WIBC. So what does a Kendall 4th of July weekend look like? I would imagine it's you ranting and raving about the bill, your wife pouring wine after wine glass, and your child crying. That's what I envision in my head.
Yeah, the daycare was pretty selfish, and they're shut down tomorrow, so I got to watch my kid.
I love they're selfish for shutting down to celebrate our nation's birthday.
I'm actually in the throes of daycares off for a week and a half. They do a big trip every year this time, and so I've been running the daddy daycare service. It'll be that. Look, my wife is actually more conservative than I am, if you can picture that. So a lot of times she gets on me about being too moderate or too liberal. So we have quite the political discussions in our house if we're ever off work together, which we will be tomorrow.
So what does she say to you to get you to shut the hell up? Because there's a lot of people that would pay good hard-earned money to learn that secret, Rob.
Like how in the sitcoms and stuff, when somebody will be talking and the other person just is going and there's like a laugh track behind them. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that's right. And I realized at some point that I'll realize I've just been talking to myself for 30 minutes while she's doing something on her cell phone.
Not that you ever would, but is there something that you can do that just pisses her off? Here, I'll let you think about that. Because in the Hammer house, whenever the coupon lady's giving me a bunch of crap, and she gives me crap a lot. Oh, you never listen to me. You're always on your phone. The thing that I can always go to is that episode of The Simpsons where Marge is yelling at Homer, saying that he doesn't listen to her, and he just goes, "Hey, that's great." When I tell the coupon lady, "Hey, that's great," that's when I'm at my point to where, okay, it's on.
Well, and see, this is the difference in, I've been married for 3 years. You've been married, what?
Over 20.
Yeah, over 20. So you're a different stage of your, like I have young kids. You have kids that are leaving. What I've adopted, this is the approach. I was actually telling Casey's husband about this last weekend. He thought this was brilliant. I have taken this approach to everything in my life as it deals with my wife or my kid. It is, I pause, and before I say or do anything, in my mind, I say, what do I want my life to be 30 minutes from now? And my response, and I've grown a lot over the years.
Sure.
Every response now is centered around, what do I want my life to look like 30 minutes from now?
The older you get, and the old dudes will back me up here, you have to pick your fights.
Yeah.
Right? Pick your battles, right? There are things that I could go toe-to-toe on, back and forth on, but it's not worth it. But when I break out the Homer line, hey, that's great. Now I'm ready to dig in, and it's go time.
Yeah, I just don't have the energy to fight anymore. And I knew this when I married a woman 15 years younger than me, that she's ready to fight. She's got the energy to fight. I just don't give it to her. I just don't give it to her. I'm 40 years old now. I don't have the energy for it. So every decision I make now, and it's made my life so much easier, Hammer, is what do I want things to look like 30 minutes from now?
You realize I'm going to take that clip and send it to your producer, Kevin, for like a promo, right? My wife is younger than I am. I just don't give it to her. The Kendall and Casey Show. You're off tomorrow. The show's off tomorrow, but you guys are #1.
Yeah, and so are you. And thank you to all of our audience. I think, Hammer, you share this sentiment. Without them, there is no us. They are what drive this boat Monday through Friday. God bless you. I hope everybody has just a super safe and happy 4th of July weekend. We'll see you back Monday. Thanks, as always, to Garage Doors of Indianapolis. Hammer, you're the best.
He's off the rails. That's Rob Kendall. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
From marshmallow festivals to fireworks on the shore. No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. During Hubler's Freedom to Drive, shop any of our 13 locations and choose from Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and more. Over 2,000 vehicles. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report.
'Cause Hubler's got you covered.
No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles during our Freedom to Drive. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Hey folks, Scott Wilson here from Wilson Farm Market, just 20 minutes north of Carmel. We're proud to bring you the freshest produce farmed right here in Indiana and across the Midwest. And don't miss our home-style fried chicken, scratch-made bakery, and a deli packed with ready-to-go favorites. Got a sweet tooth? Check out our variety of old-fashioned candies, the kind that brings back sweet memories from your childhood. At Wilson Farm Market, we're all about local freshness, friendly faces, and food that feels like home. Wilson Farm Market. That's Wilson Farm Market.
Guys, Hammer and Nigel here. Don't live with tiredness and low energy. Get your life back with testosterone therapy at Low T Center. Take the test, get fast results, and start TRT with Indianapolis's leading experts in men's health.
Now it's easier than ever with the new Synergen X Health app, an innovation in healthcare technology you won't find anywhere else. Download right now or book an appointment while the test is still free at fixmylowt.com. fixmylowt.com.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis to destroy unwanted cravings. Also, stop smoking with Mark Patrick. Destroy your desire to smoke without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Seminars July 31st at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. And Saturday, August 2nd at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in experience and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
I'm Deidre Hall with a message about your eye health. My mother had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD, which means my family members are at greater risk.
I'm Dr. Sada of Doheny UCLA. AMD is the most common cause of severe, irreversible vision loss in older adults. If a healthcare professional suspects AMD, a retina specialist can confirm the diagnosis and work with you on a treatment plan.
Routine eye care can help maintain your vision. Visit geteyesmart.org for more information.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors. For 1951 cabinetry, visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or Drexel.